The ocean absorbs 90% and over of the extra heat in the climate system that is produced by climate change. And that's one big concern for humanity at the moment. It also does a really big job at absorbing the carbon, extra carbon in the atmosphere. In this area, because there is this hellish environment and those big waves and those big winds, this is where there's more action in transferring things to the ocean.
The whole aim was to be out here taking ocean measurements while SWOT was passing overhead. And we've done that with a series of tows of the triaxis and lots of CTDs through the upper 1,000 meters of the ocean. And so together they make a really nice fine-scale survey of the region that SWOT's seeing from the surface, showing us what's underneath all those fine-scale filaments that SWOT can see. Together, we can construct a 3D view of the ocean current. So those daily maps of the heat movement in the ocean towards Antarctica will give governments the information they need to know how to deal with sea level rise and how fast they need to act.
So the whole experiment involves sampling in the area. We did that big time. We did 111 CTD casts, so sampling from the top to the 4,000 meter depths of the ocean and taking samples and with lots of sensors measuring temperature, the salinity, the oxygen in the ocean and other parameters. So with these samples, we will be able to see if there's change of communities between one side and the other of the meander, or between one side and the other of eddies in this meander, or those finer structures of the whole ocean dynamics.
Actually, we're downstream of a really significant undersea mountain range called the Southeast Indian Ridge. And the Antarctic Circumpolar Current flows eastward over that ridge, and it feels the seafloor because it's a very deep current. It extends all the way to the bottom of the ocean. And that ridge makes the current start to curve around and set up these series of hairpin bends that the current flows through. So we call that the meander, a meander in the ACC, which is short for Antarctic Circumpolar Current. And that makes it a very special place as far as oceanography, because it's where we see a movement of heat southward.
So we've been mapping the seafloor in the Southern Ocean. As you could imagine, the seafloor isn't a flat. It actually has a whole bunch of ridges and canyons and seamounts, so obstacles. If you do have a current flowing across an uneven surface, you're going to have a bit of turbulence and some eddies that form around these topographical features. So it means that by being able to map and image these features, we can better model the way the ocean water flows through our oceans. So and that can result in better understanding of heat distribution, the way water sources, and it has a really sort of close relationship with global climate.
We're trying to go into new areas, unexplored depths in our knowledge, and that those smaller features of the very vast ocean, but those features that play a role in the carbon and heat transfer. That's my motto. And the SWOT satellite has been developed over the last few decades with this idea. We want to have a new instrument. So we have satellites for general winds, surface topography, temperature, all that we do for the last few decades. And we have a general description of the ocean state at any time. But that's what's missing is those small scales that allow all this heat and carbon transfer. And so we need to measure the currents at much finer scales, more details. And so those details is what the SWOT satellite is going to do.